To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God.
All right, thank you.
Sergeant at Arms there.
They can come all the time. All the time.
Okay, got the consent agenda. We need to make a motion for the meeting September 16th, 2024, September 26th, 2024. Record of attendance, community input, session September 30th, 2024, notice of special meeting, board policies, October 7th, 2024. Record of attendance, staff and community input, bills, financial report, employment, Amber Fraser, food service department cashier, delivery driver, Lana Hamburg, Haverhill Elementary School special education paraprofessional 2, Samantha Moore, substitute teacher paraprofessional, Robert Nett, transportation department mechanic manager, Delbert Rust, substitute teacher paraprofessional, Heidi Scott, St. Mary's High School special education paraprofessional, Cynthia Sharp, substitute teacher paraprofessional, John Shepard, substitute teacher paraprofessional, returning substitute teachers paraprofessionals, 2024 winter coaching volunteer updates, resignation, Cooper Daniel, St. Mary's High School girls varsity basketball, Dallas McPeak, Haverhill Elementary School special education paraprofessional. I need a motion for that.
Oh, a motion that we pass as read.
Got a motion. Any further discussion? All in favor saying aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Open forum here. Did anyone sign up to speak to the board? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on to the presentation agenda. 2024-2025 audit report, business manager Danette and Bailey Schneider, Hayden Ross.
She is traveling from Avery. She was doing them first, and they come in here, so we can continue on, and then when she shows up.
Okay, so we'll move that whenever she shows up. We'll kind of break and have that done.
Thank you.
B, Upriver academic presentation. Mrs.
Yay.
First aid class and Upriver School Student Council.
Woo.
They gotta go to bed.
Yeah.
You bet, yeah, you betcha.
Watch out for the.
Okay. Hi, I teach first grade here at Upriver. I was a big part of the curriculum committee last year.
Yes.
And I just want to share with the community and the board, we're having a ton of fun at Upriver. The new curriculum has provided a multitude of games to learn number sense, and we've been having so much fun first grade. So to sort of share that, we put on a little, we learned a song. We've been working so far on making 10 that we guys have. And so we're going to show you one of the strategies we've learned to make an initiative called the number bond. Okay?
Number bond.
Go.
See if they can do it. This is first
Number bonds that make 10. I know my number bonds, they help my math stay strong. 2 parts make a whole, let's move and sing along. Right arm up for the one part, left arm up for the other part, both arms up for the whole. Let's go! 0 plus 10 makes 10. 1 plus 9 makes 10. 2 plus 8 makes 10. 3 plus 7 makes 10. 4 plus 6 makes 10. 5 plus 5 makes 10. 6 plus 4 makes 10. 7 plus 3 makes 10. 8 plus 2 makes 10. 9 plus 1 makes 10. 10 plus 0 makes 10. Those are the number bonds that make 10. 0 plus 10 makes 10. 1 plus 9 makes 10. 2 plus 8 makes 10. 3 plus 7 makes 10. 4 plus 6 makes 10. 5 plus 5 makes 10. 6 plus 4 makes 10. 7 plus 3 makes 10. 8 plus 2 makes 10. 9 plus 1 makes 10. 10 plus 0 makes 10. Those are the number bonds that make 10. I know my number bonds, they help my math stay strong. 2 parts make a whole, let's move and sing along. Number bonds, number bonds, number bonds.
All right.
Oh my gosh. It's gonna be in my bag.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
All right.
That's awesome.
I know.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That's why we're here.
Yep, exactly.
Yes. Exactly.
So we got it.
Way to go, Miss Hopper. Way to go. That was so good.
We got Upriver Student Council.
Woo-hoo.
All right.
All right.
Testing.
You can pull that down.
Just like that.
There you go.
I am Jace, and I am the student council president. Our first project is the change drive. Hold up the. Here's the flyer. Each class has the chance to win a popcorn party. If we raise $300, the whole school gets an ice cream party.
Hello, I'm Emmett Ridenauer, and I'm vice president. Our goal this year is to not only have the store revenue, but to have some extra fundraisers that can be fun, like our walkathon in the spring. We have made the pledge to help, and 50% of our Panther Place market will be donated.
The Upriver Student Council and student representatives are all happy that we are raising money for new playground equipment. We are working together with the PTO.
We have a pig raffle going on that each student was able to sell tickets. There are still some left if you want to buy a ticket, $5 each.
And we have 2 student reps, or 2 officers drawn, Dakota Hack, our secretary, and Tucker, our sergeant of arms. Do you have any questions?
Are you selling tickets at the moment?
They're in the office, I think.
Today's our last day to sell them too. Today's the last day.
Yeah.
Where are you at?
I already bought the winning tickets earlier, so just donate the money. Just donate the money.
You want one? Yeah. Okay.
Any cash though? Got a card.
You want to bring 2?
Well, are they single tickets or like 5 for something, or how do they? right, well, just give me a whole pack.
Yeah, okay. So five.
That's all I
yeah,
got is
so-
a 20.
Or 5.
Okay, so we'll do,
I want a pack of,
yeah, we'll take 2 more packs.
3,
3 packs, 3 packs.
$60.
One
20, 20,
agreement,
20.
one agreement though, you're gonna have to write my name on.
You have any other questions?
Any other questions?
How do you like student body?
I really like it.
What do you like? What's your favorite part about?
Maybe student council.
Nice.
Any other questions?
What about you? What do you love about it?
Student council.
Yeah,
Yeah.
What do you like about it?
What about, what about student
meals
council?
plan.
I like it because you like raise money for playground equipment, which is
All
over
about
there.
playground equipment? I would be too. All right, well, thank you, gentlemen.
Yes.
Appreciate it. Do we want to get a picture with them?
Yeah,
yeah.
I got some without all of them.
The kiddos.
Should we make 10?
Go around this way. Watch out for the.
Come over here, right up.
That is absolutely, I love it.
Come right back here. Yep. Hold that pin for a picture.
All right, let's get ready. 3, 2, 1.
Good? All right, thank you.
Good job.
Sweet. $20.
Watch out for the wires, guys.
Go 30 feet.
Good job out there.
That'd be interesting.
Well,
50% margin.
what's wrong with that? See anybody something?
That's why you got successful. All this-
8 plus 2.
Only 50 cents, you're gonna give me $1. No, I'm paying.
Ms. Gregor,
Right there.
8 plus 2
Another $80.
makes 10. And 2 plus 8? I don't know, Joe. You got some serious follow-up. Sorry, man.
All right, well, we'll get rolling here. Monthly building reports, Upriver, Mr. Blackwell.
Oh, yeah.
Good evening. All right, we're going to start with federal programs. So Goal 1 academic achievement. I completed some federal programs directors training among our special education director and our testing coordinator. Basically, this training kind of tells us how we can spend certain monies and also gives us information so we can get grants and like our Title I monies, which is about $307,000. So monies to kind of improve learning. The district's annual performance report was also submitted to the State Department. Evidence for federal programs monitoring is due October 30th. That's kind of a scary date for me. It'll be my first time going through that process, and I just kind of need more time to get that done right now. Goal 2, college and career readiness. An initial registration processing for residency questionnaires for McKinney-Vento identification and supports was completed. We initially had 13 students identified. I'm now up to 15 after that report. We have other kids we're got some information on that we're trying to identify, but that's a very low number for this point in the year. We usually have more, give you perspective, and that number usually goes throughout the school year. Last year we ended with 53. The year before we ended with 63. So we're kind of a plan to catch those other kids is we're sending out paper forms also. So that our enrollment has kind of moved to digital, and I know we were digital last year, but that might be why we're missing some of the families and the information that we're looking for. All right, goal 3, safe, healthy, and inviting place. We're processing all residency questionnaires for McKinney-Vento Identification Supports. And then, as mentioned, the federal programs director training and monitoring is coming up. Goal 4, communication with parents and community. Upper River School and Hayburn parent advisory committees have been completed, and we've done our fall meeting. We meet again in the spring, and we also sandwich at least one parent involvement night in there. All right, any questions on federal programs?
Good job, man.
All right, moving on to Upper River School Board report. So goal 1, academic achievement. We just wrapped up as of Friday our Books Are Fun book blast from September 30th to October 11th. It was a 2-week event. This initiative is an incentive-driven aiming at increasing literacy and improving school libraries personal libraries for students. It's a really, really unique, interesting thing, something that the Hayburn librarian showed me like 3 years ago. To this day, I can't figure out how they fund themselves. A kid earned an iPad. I don't know what iPads run these days, but I'm going to guess right around $500. They also have 4 treasure chests that kids get and 3 prize packages just simply for completing their treasure map, like a 7-minute activity. Outside of that, the school or donors put in money, and kids can get up to 10 books to increase their home libraries. Every student will at least get 1 book. And last I checked, I think the community donors raised about $4,300. We're going to look, I have a meeting tomorrow to find out what that final number is. So kind of, and literally all the money goes to the kids. I forgot to mention, teachers get shopping sprees if, I think it's 75% of their class participates, they get a $100 shopping spree for their class. If 100% participate, they get a $200 shopping spree. It's just kind of an amazing program that kind of makes me wonder, like, how does it work? And I know others have asked that same question. So, but we're thankful it's something that we found. All right, despite delays in technology, all our benchmark, our initial data points for student achievement was successfully completed before September ended, and that was a challenge, but we got it done. College and career readiness, goal 2, Upriver challenged all classrooms to a race to 20 days of perfect attendance, and the 1st grade and 4th grade classes both accomplished this feat at the same time. In the first 25 days of school, we had 4 classrooms get to 20 days. We've kind of, Sarah and I, the office secretary and myself, have kind of looked at attendance, and it seems like attendance isn't doing as well. But that was a good data point to know that, hey, in 25 days of school, 4 classes got 100% of their class to school on 20 days. So that was nice. All right, goal 3, safe, healthy, and inviting place. We are current with all our drills. We've done all drills at least once. And Fernwood Fire Department joined us for our fire drill on 9/16. We had a nice post drill where we talked and met with them, and they want to invite Amida and St. Mary's staff from their fire department to join us in our next fire drill. They said they work together, and if there was ever a fire, they'd be working together, and so wanted their input too in our next drill. All right, we also practice an offsite evacuation on 9/16. That's been a goal of mine. That's been thwarted by one thing or another, from gate locks to the CAF building key changing, and we finally got an offsite evacuation done. So happy that we were able to practice that. Idaho State Police Officer Tim Myers provided education to some of our 4th through 6th graders about illicit drugs, particularly fentanyl. October 7th and 8th, staff participated in state-required HB 281 training. The training focuses on de-escalation techniques, classroom management, and positive behavior interventions and supports. Our safety committee staff member, Amanda Paisley, she has inspected our AED. She's also an EMT. Our Narcon and fire extinguishers, and they're all current and past inspections. Upriver also began behavior coalition meetings to address behavioral hot zones, establish a school-wide behavior goal, and strategies for goal and behavior. The committee meets twice a month. Our staff of the month is Rhonda Ellenwood for responsibility. Upriver PTO and Upriver School, as you heard, have been communicating and fundraising for playground equipment. We've kind of been forwarded by a couple things and confusion with Head Start purchasing some playground equipment geared towards younger students, but with the Fernwood Merck's generous donation of $5,000, I feel like our fundraising is kind of launched. We're going to see big things, including from this pig raffle. I want to say 3 years ago when they began the pig raffle, they were able to raise $8,000. I don't know if we'll get to that, but that'd be a substantial amount if we get to even 2/3 of that to go into playground equipment. Our goal is 48,000. And you'll notice something in our schools. We have these thermostats. One's in the office, one's here. The Fernwood Merck wants one. I don't think they have one yet, but you're going to see that around just so students and others can know where we're at for that fundraising. So when you look at it, it looks low, but it's 18% there. So we're, like I said, that big drop in the bucket by the Fernwood Merck has helped immensely. All right, goal 4, communication with parents and community. On 9/26, Upriver had their individual picture day. Upriver has also rolled out behavior expectations for all areas of the school with directions on how to teach the expectations and emphasis on teaching the expectations multiple times, assessing the expectations, consistency among staff, school, and families. Look, I get to spend a lot of time with different administrators from the state. Every school's talking about behavior. What we're doing is you'll look around and you'll see these flyers all around. They're reminders of how you're supposed to behave in different settings. There's voice levels, and we seem to be really committed. Yes, we're in our honeymoon stages of the beginning of the school year, but staff input so far has been good. But what we do is our teachers have teach, reteach. They get this, I should have brought up this colorful graphic that tells you you've successfully completed the Panther Path to Success with these kind of signs on each area. They get a Panther All-Star certificate once the teachers have assessed them and they have demonstrated they know their expectations. And then we get something that goes home to parents that says, have a conversation with your child about what it means to be a Panther All-Star and pass the Panther Path to Success. So basically all our students should know the expectations, know how to behave, right? Okay, on October 4th, we recognized our Panther All-Stars and Student of the Month recipients from each class. It kind of came fast, so parent attendance was down. We only had 36% of the students that were being recognized with family members in attendance. Last year, I think we got as high as 80, but we're kind of in that, I don't know, probably 60% range, so that was a little bit low. One thing I want to share that's not on your board report is I attended I don't know what you call it. It's called a CSI Up meeting. It's with some capacity builders and State Department staff, like our federal programs director, Josh Noteboom, was there, and our school improvement coordinator for the state, Patty Dalrymple, was there. And one of the capacity builders, Libby, pulled me aside and said, "Did you hear that Upper School," and some of the teachers, I haven't shared this with you, but it's coming, or faculty, it's coming. I'm going to share it with you. Because this is a celebration, and that's one thing that we're trying to do more of, is celebrate successes. But our federal programs director was apparently meeting with Congress, not Idaho Congress, but at the federal level, and they were talking about school improvement and how it's going. And apparently he featured Upriver School because we had quite the year last year. Yeah. I don't know how to compare it. I'd like to say it's like the triple crown of achievement, but there's 5 things, so it doesn't quite make sense. Or the hat trick, maybe, but that's 3 goals in a game. So I don't know what the equivalent of 5 successful things are. But so far, we know we've improved attendance. We've improved ELA proficiency. We've improved math proficiency. The only 2 we're waiting on is math growth and ELA growth. But I think when those numbers are released, I think we're going to improve on all 5 measures, and that's phenomenal. But anyway, so actually to be talked about at the federal level was pretty cool. I know I stopped her and I said, "Libby, hold on, say that with the other staff here because I don't want to quote you wrong later." And so she relayed it. How'd I do, Dave? Hey, okay, all right. I didn't make anything up. So anyways, way cool. Other pertinent information, so the PTO is going to be in our building doing their annual Halloween carnival from 5 to 8 on the 26th. And then our Fall Festival Family Engagement Night is November 7th. That's where we try to get as many families in. The PTOs voluntarily doing a meal because that helps, and that's very nice of them to do that for us. But we're going to have math and reading activities. I've invited our library, haven't heard back from them. Also I want to find time to invite our STEM person, science, technology, engineering, and math, to maybe come out. She joined us last year to kind of make that event a little bit bigger deal. But anyways, you guys are more than welcome to come check it out, November 7th.
You can be a cat in the hat again?
Was I that?
Yeah, you were Dr. Seuss.
I think I may have had a hat. So Hayburn loves to do Dr. Seuss themes. So the first couple of years I missed the memo. And so last year I think I got it. And actually I think I was thing two.
You were, I have a
Or
picture.
what? Anyways. Okay. Arts and Fall Festival. I don't think we're doing costumes, but stay tuned, maybe.
Okay.
All right. One other thing I want to share, and I know I'm going a little bit late, but Dave Atchison, so over there, you guys should know him, has just began his 30th year in our district. And I want to point out, Dave does not want any special recognition. He's simply has that attitude of, I'm doing my job. And there's been lots of teachers that have been here for 30 years. But I know you guys get around other administrators. I challenge you guys to find someone that's done 30 years in the same district, same school building, same classroom. That's phenomenal. To give you perspective, our building, we believe, is 50 years old exactly, which was unique that Hayburn had a 100, so that both of them would be on a nice rounded year like that. Dave has taught more years in that classroom than any other teacher. I mean, that's phenomenal. I cannot imagine. Yes, for sure.
Thank you.
But this is where Dave would, and again, he does not want special attention. So I felt like twisted arm. Like, can I please say something? Can I do this? This means a lot to me. And so anyways, if I imagine at our all staff meeting at the start of the year, if we ask people, hey, those of you that have been a student teacher with Dave, please stand up. I know there'd be Liz Lemie, Kristen Burns. I think there's someone else in there. If you were a teacher or staff member who benefited from something that Dave's given you, I know every Hayburn staff and our staff would benefit because Dave shared a resource, I think it was 2 years ago, that is in both our elementary schools. And then even if you were once one of Dave's students, stand up. I know we have staff in this district that have been one of Dave's students. Yeah. So his impact in our community and our school and all that cool stuff that I just mentioned about us hopefully pulling off the equivalent of the hat trick, it's a large part because of Dave. I've benefited as a principal. I know other teachers have benefited as a principal by other staff have benefited by him. I want to take a moment to thank his family, which I believe we have 2 family members here, because Dave sacrifices a lot of his time to be here. And I know what that's like when you have family needs and work needs. And I know Dave works above and beyond his hours, but thank you guys for letting us borrow him. His impact is profound. Okay? Anyways, 30 years, that's in one building. Please find one more in the state of Idaho. I don't know anybody who's done that. So,
hold on. I think there might be one.
in the same building or
Same classroom.
What about Miss Siflo? Kippy?
Same classroom.
I doubt in the same classroom.
Well, she was at the high school, clear down on the end on the left.
Yeah,
We'll ask her.
we'll have to look into
We'll ask
that.
her.
Okay. All right.
But I said currently. So,
Oh,
she's-
okay.
Oh,
You got me
you
there.
some words.
Hey, one more quick story. So I think we're on day 3 of this school year. And I walk into Dave's class, and he has a space vacuum in there. I think that's what it's called. And day 3, he's testing a student theory about their inquiry on if you can hear new noise in space. And Dave will say the experiment was kind of a failure, but that's what science is. You
Yeah.
experiment, you learn, you test it, you retest it. And so what do you give a guy who owns a space vacuum? Please tell me I don't know. So Dave, I know you're a very practical guy like myself, so I thought about a plaque or something, but I know you don't really plaque. So I thought maybe we could get something that you might wear. So Dave very much supports Upper School. So here's a what do we call it? Quarter polar shirt with Upper Panther, and on the back, what it says is 30 years of service, one district, one school, one classroom, many lives improved.
Nice.
All right.
So again, he did not want any special recognition. So out of respect for him, I'm gonna kind of retract and pull away and thank you again. Any questions about Upper School?
Good job, Upriver.
Yep, thank you. And thank you for your service, and we really appreciate it. And I know about not being recognized. I'm the same way. I don't want it either, but it's well deserved. Thank you. All right, maintenance, Mr. Gilmore.
Oh, that act.
Good evening. It comes this time of the year, and I often repeat things, but we do the same thing in the same seasons almost every year. So my daily operations are processing fix-it requests, covering custodial shift just when I think I've got everything covered. Someone's out with some medical complications, so we're kind of working late, working early type of thing to get things covered. Our seasonal stuff is lawn care with the extra facilities there at the high school. That's keeps one guy on the lawnmower pretty much full time to keep that mowed. And then the fall activities, cleanup, clearing storm drains, roof drains, and that kind of thing, getting ready for the rain, which we're supposed to have this week. And the heating system's getting that started up and going again. So we should be in pretty good shape there. I'm thinking some of these systems, one more year, let's hope. So special projects, we continue to meet about the new CTE facility with Corey Trapp and engineers and contractors and that kind of thing. I like what I'm seeing there. We're moving forward. It looks like there's hope still. So that's going to be great. Again, meeting with McKinstry regarding the RAS grants. We've been in every building, kind of showing people around emails and phone calls and that kind of thing. It's going to be exciting to get some of that heating system and whatnot addressed. I don't think there's any way we would have ever got it done without this grant, so it's pretty important. I've gotten 5 new doors installed in Hayburn Elementary School. Should have been done over the summer. They finally got all the parts for it just 2 weeks ago. So it's like just months behind on that kind of thing. But new entry to the playground, which gets a ton of use. It's going to be nice to have it working like it's supposed to. So hopefully we can get another 100 years out of this set. So if anybody's been by the district office lately, you'll notice it kind of looks like a big patchwork quilt. It's in the process of getting a new paint job. I'm hoping weather cooperates and we can get that. He was able to sneak us in here kind of last minute, so let's hope we get it done. Should freshen things up there a whole bunch. That's all I've got. Any questions?
Maintenance.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Transportation, I don't believe was here.
That's me.
That's you?
Yeah, I'm the director.
You're driving.
I'm director.
I don't see your name on here.
I know. I put Janie Allen to give her the credit. She's our manager. I just want to point out a couple things. The bus that was ordered a year or so ago has arrived and is in use. And they've spent the last couple weeks just talking about the new transportation policy that was updated. And the neat thing they did recently, and this came from a patron, and we implemented it right away because it is National Safety Week upcoming. I'm going to talk about that more in the superintendent report. K123 at Upriver and at Hayburn, the teachers and the bus drivers got together, went over the rules and directions. I watched Jackie McGregor just going over all the bus rules and regulations. And then they boarded the bus together and took a little practice round around the block, just to teach, especially the little ones, on how to safely ride the bus and also then enjoy the bus ride. So that was a neat collaboration. I wanted to highlight that. And that's end of report.
Okay. Thank you for taking your time and
Yeah.
teaching the little ones. That's where we need to start.
Yeah.
Written monthly building reports, Hayburn. You got the ones.
So the rest,
So-
yeah, go ahead, sorry.
So I'm assuming we'll just,
Those are just written in
yeah,
your
Brittany,
packet.
Schneider, Peen, Victoria, special ed. Now we'll go down to E, superintendents.
Yeah.
Uh,
So those are the written reports, and you'll notice in your spare time when you get a chance to read them, we followed a new little template so that as they're explaining some of the happenings at their school or giving you some evidence or data, they align each to one of our 4 strategic goals. And that's exactly what Upriver did. So it's a nice template.
I really like it.
Yeah.
It's easy to follow. Everybody's on the same page.
Yeah. My superintendent report, super quick tonight. You'll notice there's a few of us on that page. We were at how do I say it, Jody? Choco Mill, and this is one of their Savage unit sites, so we gotta be a part of the whole timber process of watching, saw the tree down, hook the tree, skid the tree, process the log, and then haul away am I allowed to say tree? Haul away the log.
There you go.
I'm working on
Okay,
the
your
proper vocabulary.
When it
Then
stops
we
being a
actually,
tree and starts becoming a
then becomes a
log.
log. And then we actually went to the mill to see the continuing process of what happens to that log. It's just a fascinating, sophisticated process. So that was a fun day in the field, learning more about Northern Idaho and its timber industry. Some more fun highlights, pictures say 1,000 words. So there's a picture of the Hayburn and some of the younger grades reviewing the expectations when you ride the bus, just to be safe. That's Heidi Kruger with high school students. It's a financial literacy class, economics, and she was just talking, your day-to-day economics, how to save money. Here's some more, I think 5th, 6th grade, and you've got 2nd grade getting their math on. Collaborative group right here in Upriver, working in teams of 3 and working on their order of operations. And then you have a 2nd grade learning their shapes, again in a collaborative work setting. Super fun to watch. Oh my gosh, that boy is so excited. That's the Upriver, what TJ Blackwell was talking about. They're reading books, getting books donated, and he was the first one to win the treasure. I mean, he's ear to ear with no front teeth. Just as happy as could be. And that's another picture of, there's Jackie McGuire right there, McGregor right there teaching the rules. And the kids all lining up with their teacher, and they're about to board the bus and go around the block. And that spins right into next week is National School Bus Safety Week, and that's also the week that St. Mary's recognizes our bus drivers, so we do a little celebration for them next week. Little Skyalert message goes out. Kids are extra nice on the bus, and we decorate their bus area, garage, and then we bring them lunch and a little treat on Friday. I just want to point out supplemental levy. We have another information night at St. Mary's, and then the election day, the supplemental levy will be on the ballot November 5th. We're doing all kinds of road shows and getting all kinds of information out, and just keeping that at the forefront. Supplemental levy will be on the November 5th ballot. We tentatively have a special board meeting scheduled for the 28th, and it would be an opportunity to take another set of policies for a first read. Some other fun happenings. I know it's really small print. The sports complex we'll have to bring boosters in the high school soon. They just continue to work away, and so does maintenance on that field, so that we can have soccer, baseball, and softball right in our own backyard now. It's pretty neat. Hayward Playground, you've seen lots of fun pictures about how much fun the kids are having out on that playground. And if you listen to Bridget talk, she just goes on and on about how enjoyable it is for the kids to have a playground and how much less trouble they're getting into. And as you heard upriver, they're in the process of raising money for new playground equipment as well. If you get a chance, we try to highlight either on our Facebook page or the school Facebook pages, all kinds of neat stuff happening around the schools. There's after school academy happening for middle school and high school. High school soccer's at district tournament today. There's a family movie night tomorrow night at Hayburn. Some high school students, particularly girls, got to go to NIC for a field trip and do some hands-on labs. All the math learning you heard about tonight. Hayburn does monthly birthday book giveaways, and I think I have a picture. Maybe I missed that picture on that one. So just all kinds of neat stuff happening in the classroom and outside of the classroom. All with the idea of, I'll come back to that, keeping our vision in mind, right? All examples tonight of quality education, collaboration, so that we're teaching our kids the skills and knowledge, responsibility, and confidence when they leave us. And I'm just highlighting the supplemental levy unless you have any questions. Keeping it the same amount, a little bit over 2 million. Your tax levy rate should be even less than 1.68 in the upcoming levy. And those are all the neat programs that support or that the levy supports, so we can continue to uphold that vision for our kiddos. And a report.
Any questions? Okay, moving on, district continuous approval plan.
It's me. I'm on again. What to say about this plan? It's a sliver of our strategic plan. The state at this point asks us every October 1st to upload it, so we do. But you're going to see in one of the resolutions tonight, you have some school districts, and I'm also a supporter, that we would be allowed to replace this continuous improvement plan with our strategic plan. And the reason I'm in favor of that is you're going to see tonight, this just emphasizes a little piece of college and career readiness and literacy. So it's just a small part of our strategic plan, which encompasses 4 different goals: academics and all the subjects, communication, college career readiness, and a safe, healthy school. So it's one of those things we submit every year. First page talks about the input we gather, which mostly came from gathering our strategic plan. It speaks to all the kids 9 through 12 get their individualized career plan, which is pretty phenomenal. That's the first 2 pages. Then you see a little bit of data, which you've seen and you'll continue to see from the principals and myself throughout the school year to know how we're progressing towards our 4 strategic goals. Again, it's only in the area of college and career readiness, graduation. And then you've got a few grade levels and their math or language arts results. The last page is a little summary. It's the narrative, section 5. That's the best part of this plan. It talks about some of our successes, like a 90% graduation rate. 65% of our 8th grade students met or exceeded the standards in language arts. Grade 5, 7, and 8 cohorts made noticeable gains in language arts and math. Grades 1, 2, 3, 5, and 8 met or exceeded the prior year performance target that we set for them. So those are some successes. Some challenges and plans going forward. Continue with advisory classes for middle school. That's in place. Continue with parent outreach for secondary families. That's in place. Incorporate response to intervention time in the school day, particularly for middle and high school, that's in place. Ongoing training for administrators and staff in the PLC work across the whole school district, that's in place. Use of early release Mondays as a time for staff to collaborate around student progress and achievement. And then use of our 4 non-student attendance days for professional development. That's all in place. As a little pat on the back for school District 41. That's a wrap.
Okay.
You'll vote on that later.
Yeah. Do you want to back up and?
Would you like to present now, or would you like to catch yourself a little bit? We moved on in the meeting.
If you
so
want- if
you're
you want to
ready
sit
to
and
do
catch your
it
breath,
now,
that's
or if
fine.
you want to catch your breath?
Okay, all right.
This is Bailey Schneider from Hayden and Ross. She has done the audit for a few years, but this was her first year as the lead auditor and did the whole audit, so. it
Hey
was
Bailey,
up
do you need to present anything? You're good.
No.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Shut this down.
I don't know if I told you guys I was presenting another.
Yeah, we
audit.
knew you were in another
Okay.
school district. We just
Perfect.
carried on
It's a
until
long
you
way
could make
away.
it.
Yes.
It was a long drive.
It's been a little bit of a travel.
She's in Moscow, so it's like maybe on her way back type of thing, so. yeah.
Okay.
Extra copies. Thank you. Here.
All right, hello, everyone. As Danette said, I'm Bailey Schneider, and I'm the district auditor. So I took over for Jen Clark, who's been doing your guys' audit for quite a few years. I don't know how many. I've always kind of worked on it in the background with her, but Jen's kind of moved out of the auditing world. So I'm the audit manager at our firm. I'm one of 3 full-time auditors there, and we're kind of slowly moving all the audits into what we call the audit department. And this was kind of just the first step. So I gave you guys 2 packets. The larger one is the actual financial statements. We're not going to go into those at all, but I did tab one of the pages, and that is the budget to actual for your general fund. And if I was the board, that's the page that I would be the most interested in, because it shows how you guys did compared to your budget for fiscal year 24. The smaller packet is going to be some graph presentations for tonight. The first part is just a narrative, and it just summarizes everything that I'm going to say tonight. You guys will flip to the first graph, which is the 2024 General Fund Operations Recap. I guess as we start, I did give Danette some required communication. It's called our ending governance letter. And it just talks about some upcoming standards that are on the horizon, some significant estimates in your financial statements, which is going to mostly just be your capital asset useful lives, and that we had no disagreements with management. Just wanted to thank Danette. She is so awesome to work with. It's one of my favorite audits to come on, and she just makes it so easy on us. So thank you, Danette.
Thank you. She loves audits.
So we did issue a clean opinion on the financial statements. So that basically just means that we believe they're fairly stated as presented. I did just want to say, so we have your financial statement audit, and then we also did a single audit, which is a compliance audit. If you guys spend over $750,000 of federal award money during any given year, you have to have a compliance audit. You guys have had a single audit for a long time, so this wasn't anything new. I just like to mention that there are 2 separate audits. The single audit also had no findings. Everything was good there. So again, great job, Danette. All right, so diving into that first graph, we're going to talk about the general fund here for a little bit. So your general fund started the year with a beginning fund balance of 982,000. You had revenues of 11,071,000, expenses of 10,579,000. You ended the year with an ending fund balance of 1,474,000. And that was an increase of about $492,000 from the prior year. Flip to the next page. It's going to be a 10-year history of your revenue and expenditures. So revenue has been greater than expenditures in 8 of the last 10 years. And you guys have had increases the last 2 years. As you can see, your revenue and expenses have both been increasing over the last 10 years. It's just inflation. We're all dealing with it, unfortunately. But in the next graph, we're going to take a look at how that has affected your fund balance. So as auditors, we always get asked, well, what's the right amount of fund balance to have as a carryover? And while we can't tell you as the auditor, because that would be kind of a management decision, we have to stay independent, the GFOA, or the Government Finance Officers Association, they normally recommend about 2 months worth of operating expenses. So that top line there is going to be that 2-month recommendation. So the 1.7 million is what 2 months of operating expenses based on fiscal year 24 numbers would be. And that bottom line, the 1.4 million, is where the fund balance currently is. So you're currently at about 1.72 months. Last year you were at 1.3, so you guys have increased it quite a bit. You've been in that 1.3 range for quite a while. And this last year you were able to bring it up quite a bit.
Can I comment?
Yeah.
A little bit, just to talk to you guys when we go through the budget process. We normally are not at this high for fund balance, and the reason is because we got money from the state late in the year, so that bumped up the fund balance. We normally do not carry that much. We try to stay around the 1 million, not the 1.5. So it is high right now, but that's not normal for what we normally budget.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's some money we earmarked.
All right, so we'll dive into the revenues a little bit more in the next graph. So your local revenue this year was $2,126,000. That was down about $243,000 from the prior year. The big part of that is going to be the new state school facilities money. So the state passed some legislation to help offset property tax dollars for patrons. So they gave you $346,000 this last year. So that money, which is normally levy money, is now included in your state portion of your revenue. Your levy has stayed the same for quite a while. And then your interest earnings have also increased significantly. Interest rates are going up. It's definitely been helping you guys out. Looking at your state revenue, you're at $8.9 million this year. That's up $1.5 million from the prior year. Like I said, your school facility money, that was $346,000 this year. That was new. You guys got one-time discretionary money, which is related to House Bill 763. That was $379,000. Your base support per support unit went from about $36,000 to $41,000 this year. But with that, your support units dropped this year, and we're seeing across all of our districts. The state has a 3% protection rule, so if your support units drop more than 3%, you're kind of protected so that your state support doesn't drop significantly if all of a sudden you guys lose a bunch of students. The only problem with that is right now the legislation that only protects you for a year. And so the next year you could see it. From what I've heard, there's some new legislation trying to be talked about, hopefully pass, that 3% protection will move on past just 1 year. But just kind of something to think about. The other thing with state funding is this is the first year they went from enrollment that they had through the COVID years
to average daily attendance. And so we're seeing this protected 3% on all of our districts that we audit. So it's not just you guys, it's happening with everyone. While your state money did increase, your support units did drop. Just something to kind of note. You guys had other revenue of $705, and that's just going to be sale of capital assets you guys had with the general fund this year. Next graph, we'll take a look at just your 10-year history of your state versus local money. So we kind of see a baseline of about 70% state, 30% local. Really, you guys were kind of staying in that trend. Last few years, the state support has increased quite a bit. So as state support increases, but your local stays pretty even, that percentage is going to change year over year. I'm gonna dive in and look at your expenditures a little bit more. So your instruction was $6.2 million this year. That was up about $719,000. $668,000 was related to salaries and benefits. And then your supplies and materials was also up about $96,000. You guys implemented some math curriculum in fiscal year 24. And then just kind of noting you guys had some salary increases that were approved through the budget. So your certified was 12.5% this last year. For support, you were at $3.9 million. And that was an increase of about $472,000 from the prior year. $339,000 of that was related to salaries and benefits. Purchase services was up about $72,000. You guys had more bus repairs that you had to outsource due to some mechanic turnover. Your capital outlay was also up about $65,000, and you guys had some flooring projects and the playground fence that went in. And then your insurance was also up about $17,000 due to some premium increases. You had transfers of $312,000 this year. $83,000 was related to your Medicaid match. About $16,000 was related to your food service FICA match that you have to transfer in. You guys approved to transfer $116,000 to your plant facilities fund. And then the required bus depreciation was $96,000 this year. Then the debt service, $2,800. That was your last set of payments on your copier leases. Looking at your payroll and benefits. So this is going to be a percent of payroll and benefits over your total expenses. Your average of payroll and benefits is around 80% of your total expenses, and that's what we really see kind of around all districts that we audit. So that's fairly consistent. And then to finish up, we'll just look at your plant facilities fund. Your plant facilities started the year with $1,782,000. You had revenues of $227,000, expenses of $966,000 to end the year with $1,043,000, which is a decrease of $739,902. Your revenues this year, $77,000 came from your interest earnings, and then $116,000 was the transfer in from the general fund. Your big expenses this year, you guys transferred the $746,975 to your new Renew America's grant fund. And you guys all know that's your 5% match that you have on the $14 million grant that's coming in. And then the remaining $204,000 was for paving the bus lane and the staff parking lot at Hayburn. Just some takeaways. Your general fund is below the GFOA recommendation, but like Danette said, you guys like to keep it around that $1 million, so it is high right now. Fortunately, a bunch of the state's payments did come in right in towards the beginning of July. But overall, I think the district's in a really good place. You guys have some big grant money coming in, and I think it's going to do a lot of good for the district in the next couple of years. You guys have any questions?
Thank you.
Does Danette ever tell you you're wrong?
In a nice way.
She does sometimes.
Okay, all right, just checking.
I'm not saying that.
No. Jeanette is so great to work with. It's always a pleasure coming here and working with her. Thank you, guys,
Thank you
for,
very much.
Thanks,
Thank
Bailey.
you.
Travel home.
yes, thank
Yeah,
you.
drive safely.
Thanks for trusting my place in the meeting.
Of
Oh,
course.
you're good. Okay, we'll get back on track here.
Senior facility plan.
Yeah, down to on G, 10-year facilities plan.
This is what I shared briefly last time. I just want to bring it back. That we went through that program. I found out, Seth, it was built by Jacobs Project Management Company. I know because you had asked, like, how's the algorithm developed? Anyways, that's the company that kind of built that software, where we took those 40 different data points and assessed our buildings conditions, and then from there, the software would calculate a cost. That's where that came. So that's where that came from. So, anyways, back to last time you looked at the assessment, how we ranked each building with those 40 different data points, but they're summarized into 11, like electrical, interior, exterior, and then on this 10-year plan, we put together what could be our top 3 projects with that lump sum money that we'll get. Now, once we submit this, the idea is that it releases that money, which is almost 3.6 million, so that we can start investing it. It doesn't mean we are stuck to these 3 projects. They're just asking us, what is your 10-year plan? You have a 10-year plan. You've assessed the buildings. We can shift if we need to. But this is what we wanted to propose as our top 3 projects, so just a quick recap from last time. Hayburn would be continuing with the plumbing, which would be 1.5 million as we chip away at that. Project 2. What?
Literally.
Literally. Yeah, and know what else we might discover. And then project 2 was St. Mary's High School interior. And interior includes like ceilings, doors, walls, so forth and so on. And that would be about $1 million at this point. And then on the back page, we should have a little money left over for upriver, where we talked about, again, interior, which can tackle, mainly this ceiling right here in the very room we're in. But it could also tackle some other maybe interior walls or floors that might need some repairing. And that was 1 million. So that gets our 3.6 at this point.
This is probably just something to be able to get those funds.
Yeah, so you'll approve it later on tonight. We would submit that to the state with the idea that we want the release of that 3.6, and then we can put it in that Idaho Investment Bank, which is at a little bit over a 5.2 rate right now. So we could be earning more money, which just allows us to do even more projects.
That just allows us to be able to release the money, then we can decide.
Correct. Yeah. We can just decide, are we staying on this point, does something else come up? We can always pivot. There we go.
Okay. On to H, contract with independent contractor Judy Hall, Sunrise Education Services.
This contract usually comes through in October. Judy Hall's been with us for the past 3 years. She's a consultant for behavior therapy. What she does is it's really providing professional training for our teachers. So she comes twice a year, 2 days, 2 days in the fall, 2 days in the spring. She observes challenging behaviors in different classrooms. Then what she does is meet with staff and again, provides us professional training on different ideas and strategies to use with kids who may have autism and or with kids that might have challenging behaviors. There you go.
Okay, Idaho School Board Association activities. Okay, resolutions. Here. Oh, this stinking thing.
I can jump
There's-
into it.
What is there, 18 resolutions this year? 3 withdrawn?
Mhm.
Okay. We discussed a few of them. I think 3 we might tag our name onto to help support. One of them was the SIP plan. What was the other ones, Teresa? I don't remember now.
Yeah, okay, 17 is swapping the SIP plan for strategic. So the idea was if we vote on that later, then you see how Butte County wrote that, then we would just add our name as that we're sponsoring that resolution. Then if you go up to resolution 5, restoration of lottery funds for school maintenance. So we used to get a little over 300,000 each year for maintenance. Because this large sum of money we're getting is supposed to be only used on capital outlay. So we lost our lottery funds. So we're not getting that annual 300,000 to put towards basic annual regular routine maintenance. So you see Twin Falls wrote it. I would love to have St. Mary's sponsor it, that we get our lottery funds back. So that's resolution 5. Resolution 10 was latitude for CTE personnel funding, sponsored by Pocatello. We know we have the new CTE shop being built, and none of those GRAP funds and some of our CT funds were not allowed to use on staffing. So this resolution is just asking for some latitude on personnel, for personnel, to put money for personnel,
For
staff,
staff, the CT.
rather than just equipment or the construction of the building, which is very necessary.
Do we have money left over?
Nope. And we can't use it on staffing right now from the
So
grant.
who would be asking money from? The state?
Right, but we wouldn't
We're
have the
asking for
money for it.
latitude.
Trying to understand.
Yeah, we're asking for latitude. And there's other great ones on there. Those were the 3 I highlighted that I thought St. Mary's might want to sponsor.
We're discussing this. We're discussing knowledge.
Yeah, so obviously we would like to put our support behind 3 of them with the other districts as well. Is there any other ones on there that you want to discuss that possibly you want
I just want, well, before I vote, are we voting on that?
to later, yes.
Okay. Well, let me ask a question on the restoration of volunteer funds. So I'm under the impression that the money that gave a tax break to citizens
Mhm.
is also one of the lottery funds. Why am I missing?
The lottery funds went somewhere, but I don't think it was there. I'm
It
trying to
went into the
remember where
lump
it
sum
went.
that we're getting for outlay.
It was used to fund this. It
What's
was-
that?
It was used, it was one of the pots of money used to fund this
The big
3
lump
million,
sum of money.
this money that's coming to us.
The
The lottery funds,
521.
there's 2 or 3, but lottery funds is one of them.
So the lottery funds are still giving us our money, but not next year, is what you're saying?
Not anymore.
Right, we got it this last year, but for this next year, we will not be receiving it because it's being used to fund this modernization bill. So we will
Right, but it's a
not,
one-time bill, isn't it? The modernization bill?
that's the 3.5.
Well, it's supposed to last 10 years.
It's supposed to last 10 years.
So
then-
lottery funds are not coming back anytime in the near future.
But essentially, we still got that money
We got it.
through the restoration of the 3.5 million.
Right, but it's limited what it
Okay.
is.
But we
Probably
can't
is
use it.
limited
I see
in
it.
what
We got the
understand.
money, yeah, they took it from one pocket, put it into
Right,
another pocket.
right.
Now the restrictions are we can only use it for capital outlay.
So if we- my question, just be asking, so if we're
Sure.
asking them for money, then where are they gonna take the money?
Exactly.
That's my only worry
Yep.
about it. I'm all about supporting, asking the state for more money. We all know that the state spends money elsewhere,
Correct.
but my worry is.
Are they gonna
Do
do
we have a
Yeah,
solution
good
as
point.
to, yeah.
Great point.
Because I don't want them taking it from our taxpayers.
No, we
No.
wouldn't have. That's
Right,
not-
right, I know.
No.
I'm just saying,
This,
My
that's,
words,
yeah,
I'm
I
just
got you.
stating.
But if we want latitude, maybe that's where the latitude needs to be, the restrictions on those monies.
To be able to
That's 10.
use those funds as you wish, pay more, you know, so a lot of them, so when they do this
General
stuff.
maintenance.
Let me back up. So when they say, oh, look at the money we put here, basically you got this pie.
Yeah.
They pick the cookie cutter up and they turn it a little bit and they put it back down.
Right.
So they're saying, oh, they're focused on this piece over here that we give you all this money here, but you look over here on this little piece, that's where the money comes from.
That's what I'm worried about. If we ask for that lottery money, they're gonna do the cookie cutters.
Well, that's
So
what
how do
they've
we-
done for
Yeah,
other
good
many
point.
years.
How do you know where
And
they're
so,
gonna
but
turn the
with that
cookie cutter?
said, so you might lose
It's not in
some
the
of
lottery, it's not in
your latitude of here, you've got your, the way you can spend your money is a little bit more freely here, but if they put it over here, you've got restrictions on here that you can only use it for A, B, C. Here, over here, you can use it for the whole alphabet type thing.
Okay.
So we did, compared to some other school districts that have talked about these lottery monies, using it for general maintenance, we never used it for general maintenance as like salaries, stuff like that. We did use it on capital projects, but not to the scale that they're wanting us to use for the 3.5 million. We used it for flooring. We used it, it was capital projects, it's anything over $2,500 for us. So we did use it for those things, not for salaries, not for custodial supplies, not for what I call general maintenance. So we did use it on capital projects and we receive about 80,000 a year. We just, if they're wanting us to use it for those big things, then we don't have the resources for those
Smaller things.
annual things that we tried to do with those monies.
Counting on that 3.5 million to come to us still though, or we're gonna isolate, and obviously there's a lot of that's some of our projects.
We will have to look at
That's what I was wondering.
monies within our general fund budget or plant facilities
Plant
to
facilities.
pay for some of those things that we relied lottery on, because it will supposedly, the monies we're getting, the 3.5 is supposed to be used for the things we might have used lottery funds for.
Correct.
So Jody, with your experience, how many times have we had to do the cookie cutter thing that's come against us? Question.
Well, it's that way, it seems like every year.
So if we ask for the lottery funds now, we're gonna lose it somewhere else, is what you're thinking?
Possibly.
Well, can we turn our own cookie cutter?
That's
Like
kind of
you
my
said,
question,
you
is how
know,
do we-
it's like we used to give the money, get the money and we had
Revise the
free access, you know, to put it where we wanted it into the
discretionary.
capital projects that we wanted to do. So if they're going to restrict us, we have to look at how we can adjust and turn
And I
that
think
cookie
it's,
cutter to
this
take one
resolution
place.
was probably really to maybe legislature realize what happened. So I
I'm
don't know
all
if
in
there's
favor
a solution, but realize what really happened.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm all in favor of supporting other schools, what they're trying to suggest, was just reading it, but the question is when it comes up in legislature, they can decide without our
Yeah, good
voice.
point. It's not written in the resolution. So that's fair.
Just wondering. I'm just-
Yeah,
No, it's
that's
a great
question
it's a
because it's
great
not written
observation.
into
I'm
the
new to this,
resolution.
you know, more
Nope,
than anything
that's
else.
a great
You know,
observation.
that's
Yep.
understandable.
It was a good analogy, but it's a
I
good
don't think
observation.
it hurts to put your name to help support something, you know. It's just like-
Well, at least to bring it up so that it draws attention to the legislature, that they see that we see there's a problem with it.
That's what Dinesh.
So if we do put
Yeah.
our name down,
All it shows is what's
is there a way
wanted.
that we can have a say of how that's being brought to them? Like they
Well,
wrote this.
what it was, so the resolution that's already wrote, whoever the original resolution writer district, that's how it'll be wrote. So then what'll happen is, so these are the resolutions that were wrote to the ISBA. So then when they had their meeting in September, their executive board went through all the resolutions and give, you know, either a support or non-support or stay neutral. And so these will come up to vote at the business session on Friday when we're down there for the convention.
Okay.
So the whole membership will go over that, and then we'll have the little clickers, and then we'll be able to vote whether we move forward or not on it.
Will we have a voice there to be able to say
Yeah.
if these are our concerns?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, there'll be 3 microphones around the thing. and
School
we'll
will be able to bring
stand
that,
up.
up. Whether we
Yes.
support them or not,
Yes.
we can still be like, hey, listen,
Yeah,
this is just in support for the ISBA to recognize it, is all this is voted.
Yeah.
Not for this to be recognized by the state.
Correct.
But everyone
This is
can-
just for the ISBA
Okay.
to move forward, so.
That makes plenty of sense. to me.
So now Friday, when we go to the business session, that's where if you got concerns with this, you'll be able to stand up and say,
I
you
am
know, your,
concerned.
your
This is my
concern.
concern.
Exactly.
Awesome. All this does is this says, hey, I'm behind this to be brought
Yep.
forward to the ISBA so we can vote on this as a collective unit to say this is
Yeah.
where we want to bring this.
If the whole
This is
membership
awesome.
decides to move
Yeah.
it forward.
And then we go to Capitol in the day and we sit in on the Senate and the
That's it.
representative committees. And they're actually talking about turning
That's
this into,
what we-
then we can say, change the legislation so it reads this way.
Yeah.
Give us lottery funds, but don't take it out of anywhere else.
And this is where conversations with our representatives too, bringing it forward, you know, and creating a relationship with them.
That's
So, I mean, those are
Remember last year
important
when
things
there's-
to do too.
sitting at that table and Senator Lent spoke of, you know, you guys need to call us with your questions, concerns, you know, but you need to build that relationship. He stated like, well, if Jody calls me, I know that I should pick up the phone and chat with him. And that gal that was on the end, I said, that's one of the gals that we need to get to know because she's from the Silver Valley, but she lives down there in Boise and she's got a lot of pull down there. So that's kind of building those relationships.
Good questions.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So as it states right now, we'll go ahead and support 17, 5, and 10. Okay, just so when it comes up for the, I'm not sure how that's going to be worded, but anyway. Okay, moving on to November 6th through the 8th, ISBA annual convention.
Around the corner.
Yeah.
On the calendar and going.
Right
Everybody got
after
reservations
the
and
elections.
Plans and,
We're flying on election day, that's why I already
I
voted.
know.
I voted already. Good.
We are flying.
Not really happy about
The law seminar, is that happening?
what?
But
You gonna be signing up there, right? The law seminar?
Well, that's an
April,
I know.
we're all
So
signed up.
education
this
law
point.
seminar, yeah, April 28th. Well, you forgot Dale Hill.
Yeah, what are you doing?
that. Yeah, when
That's in
is that?
February.
That's
It's usually in
soon.
February.
It's over President's Day, right? Usually,
I don't know, we'd have to look.
it usually is.
It's not on the agenda, so we can't talk about
Nice.
it. Anyway, so
Yeah,
April
activity.
28th through the 29th for law seminar. I would say pencil me in, but as it gets closer, I'll have to see what's happening.
Have my agent call your agent. We'll do lunch.
Everybody's penciled in.
Okay.
Everybody's penciled.
J, second reading and review of board policies. So, one, we got board policy 60103, school day bell schedule.
This is one I'm bringing back with a little more information that I'd like to expire it. It's not really a school day, and it's not really a policy. So, what's the easiest way to share this? Boards set the calendar, and we have policy on the calendar. 601.02 is where you govern the calendar instructional days. 40202 is also called school day, so we have two with the same name. However, that policy talks about your the instructional hours. Statute 33512 and 33510 talks about our instructional minutes, which you govern. And you pass the policy that approves our calendar, our instructional hours. There's also statute on graduation requirements, right? And we have policy on graduation requirements. So once you set up all those governing pieces for us, it points us in the direction that now principals build a bell schedule. So a bell schedule is something we build, they build, and then communicate to the board for information and communicate to the community, parents, and students. That's why I'm saying we don't
It's
need,
not a policy.
it's not a policy.
You're kind of getting into more micromanaging.
Yes.
This is the implementation. A bell schedule is the implementation. You set up the governing of the instructional
Yes.
days and hours, our graduation requirements, the state does, plus you have policy on it. And yes, and our calendar. Then implementation wise, the principals and I sit down with staff and we build the bell schedule. So now what does that look like day to day with passing period, lunch, breaks, start and end? Exactly.
In that legislature that you just read, it doesn't say that we have to specify hours, you specify how many hours.
Yeah, so you don't specify when passing times are,
We
lunch,
don't.
correct. You say, high school
That's
has
all.
990 hours, and then we calendar, what is that, like for 180, 78 days that we have with kids.
So if you're looking at researching myself into this further, I absolutely thought that the worst thing that we could have is a policy where we actually have the school hours, because if we did, then the schools have to follow.
It's
those
really, we
exact
really
times.
lock ourselves in.
And so even more so, it hasn't been followed because it's the fact that we have them. So I'm in agreement.
Yeah, and when I checked in with other, I was like, in my 32 years, I don't think I've ever seen that. And when I checked in with other superintendents in Region 1, they're like, no, we have school day, we have calendar, we have instructional hours, but not the bell schedule. That's the implementation part.
I totally agree.
So there we go.
Okay. Moving on to board policy 3080.
And we'll inform and share that with you every year.
Yeah, honestly, the more I looked at it, I was like, why are we,
Yeah, why is this
why do
here?
we have
We're
it?
getting-
As-
Why is this here?
As you were saying, as I looked at it, I was like, it doesn't specify that we need to put that in there.
I would love to know why it.
This is the forgot.
Board policy 3080, resident, non-resident, student tuition.
I have that. Thank you. We're bringing this back because there was a little bit of confusion. The title's still incorrect. So we'll change that.
Oh.
The title needs to read non-resident and resident. So we had some good discussion last time.
Which is
so-
shown on the final.
Okay, awesome. Whew. So okay, I'll just start from the beginning. The first paragraph is exactly how our current policy reads. Districts attending school in another state and students out of state students attending school district. That's new, okay? It's just a safety net in case that would ever come up. Both boards would have to sit down and create an agreement on what that looks like. What-
The second paragraph.
What we added back was the final one's easy to read. Yeah,
This one is your recommended changes. They're the same, aren't they?
well, there's so students attending another district, that's what we added back in.
Okay, I'm just curious why you handed me this.
Yep, it is the same.
Okay, I just,
Okay, that's right.
just curious.
This isn't the one.
Okay, sorry.
So, no, you're good. So students attending another district, that's what Danette was talking about. That was in our current policy. We didn't have that in here, so we put that back in here. Because we do have students from another district attending our school. So now the policy is recognizing students that attend another school district, students that would attend from out of state, or students from out of state attending our school district. It has non-resident and resident all added in here.
So they have this. So why was this different on me?
Okay. Good?
There might be a little confusion.
That's the one we're moving.
Yeah, Danette found that later and added to this.
Oh, what she just handed out didn't, okay.
That's not that was an old reading.
Okay,
So the
thank you.
final one that we're looking at
Was
has
this-
students attending another school district. We added that from our current policy. So
Correct.
now we're recognizing non-resident out of state, and we're recognizing resident stays from another school district. And that was missing last time, so we needed to get that back in.
Okay. We're good? Okay, board request of administration, board development. Got any questions or concerns?
Regarding this,
Yes,
the last time we were talking, I was really wanting to know a
Yeah.
lot more.
so I got answers for you. Ready?
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yes. So now we'll move from policy into implementation. Yep.
Okay.
That was hoping that was a perfect time to bring it back up.
Perfect.
So tuition. Okay. I got some examples to show you. All right, you're asking, why, okay, so plumber, let's go with plumber first. We have an MOU with plumber, so we look at that a lot closer. There's no tuition that we're charging plumber kids. Here's why. They're open enrollment, just like kids from Kootenai and just like kids from, what's another open enrollment? Those are our two, okay? So open enrollment, kids can come from another, yeah, if there's space, no charging, okay? What, we have an MOU with Plumber, and what it's saying is typically if schools in if students open enrollment want to come to our school, they can. We don't have to provide them transportation. We don't, as a matter of fact. Plumber, we did an MOU with them saying we will transport only the kids that have signed up for open enrollment and been approved. Here's why. There's 2 bus stops that we already stop at. Sanders, that's one of our own bus stops, and it happens to have 5 kids from Plummer. So we're like, yep, you can buy, yeah. We're not recruiting because we're not supposed to recruit. So they can, we're already stopping there so they can join us. There's another 6 open enrollment, they were received at Parkline. Well, we already stopped at Parkline. So this just says, should they want to ride the bus? None of them do. They could, and we will transport them. That's what this
So we don't
MOU
charge
is.
them for that, right?
Right, because we already make that bus stop, and there's enough room. That's what the MOU is. It's saying, with those 11 kids, every year, we get the list, and there's enough room, we could transport them free of charge. And we also won't recruit, because we're not supposed to recruit from other school districts. Okay. Now, let's move into Avery. Avery is not open enrollment.
Thank you.
Avery is students not in our district that are going to attend our school because there's a service they can't provide that we can.
Okay.
So for elementary, they're so small, we can provide special ed services.
We can, okay, right, okay.
So we have 2 kids.
High school and.
Those are the 2, high school and special ed for elementary. We have about 10 kids from Avery that go to our high school because they don't have a high school. And we have about 2 kids in elementary that we serve special ed because they don't have enough people to serve special. Okay. There is tuition. Now, it's not, you wondered about double dipping. So I like the other form better. So how much does the student charge? And I have this document, so I locate it for you. It costs the student about $1,000. It costs us about $1,000 to serve a kid, for example.
Transportation.
Nope, just to service a student enrolling in our school district. Costs about $1,000. Well, from ADA, we get $700. So tuition is $300 to make up that difference.
So the tuition's 300, that 300 is enough to say 22,000.
700, so 700 for the ADA.
Right.
300 that we charge Avery equals the $1,000 that it would cost to serve that child.
Right, and I'm
And I
not
have that.
disagreeing in how much we're charging, or what we're charging, it's whether or not how much we're charging them.
Yeah, so here's
Equal and
the,
equivalent of 22,000 is my worry. $300 would be the,
so here's a great example. This comes from the state. So it would cost to serve that child that amount. This is what we get for ADA. So that's what we charge for tuition.
that's the difference that we charge them.
Correct.
So we actually do charge them the exact difference.
Yep.
Not an over amount.
Not an
No, the state drives how much we can do
The
it.
state
and we
drives
get
how
that
much we
from
can
the
charge.
state.
That's perfect, that's all I was wondering, I just want to make sure that, if we're not charging somebody else.
Yep.
I don't
Right.
want to
We
be
didn't make
critical
up
and
the
charging
numbers.
this other, you know what I
We
mean?
would-
That to me feels like
Nope, yep.
we're asking too much of a place that gets less funding. Do you know what I mean? So.
So we're saving them too. It
Perfect.
all works for everybody.
Perfect.
Great questions. And that was
Thank you so much
fun.
for that.
Yeah. That was a fun little investigation.
Okay,
Yeah.
so moving on to action items.
I was like, let me get
Ready?
ready.
Ready? Okay, review and consider a motion to approve the 2023-2024 audit report.
So moved.
Second that.
Got a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
We're gonna ping pong back and
Uh-huh.
forth
All in
here.
favor, saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. B, review and consider a motion to approve the 24-25 continuous improvement plan.
I'll move that.
I'll second.
Got a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
1 second, please.
Yeah, it needs a minute.
Seth brought the motion,
Yes,
Beth
ma'am.
seconded. Okay, thank you, sir.
All in favor, saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. C, review, consider motion to approve the 10-year facilities plan.
So moved.
I'll second it.
And a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, saying aye.
Aye.
Say aye.
I did.
Oh, I didn't hear you.
Oh, sorry. Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. D, review and consider motion to approve the contract with independent contractor Jody Hall, Sunrise Educational Services.
I'll move.
A second.
A motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. E, review and consider motion to sponsor proposed 2025 ISBA resolutions.
I move that we propose, what numbers were they again? Sponsor
5.
number
10.
5, 10, and 17, and 17 at the convention.
I'll second that.
Okay, got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. F, review and consider motion to awards miscellaneous surplus bid items.
I'll move that.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. G, review and consider a motion to award the number 2 fuel bid for the 24-25 school year. I think we should probably say the amount and who it is.
St. Joe Oil Company.
Okay, so I move that we accept the bid from St. Joe Oil Company and then say the amount of 0.2874 per gallon.
Right.
28.
20, is it? No, it's, yeah, not 0.28. There's a misprint there. I was going, no way, that's not right. 22.87,
0.2874 per gallon.
huh?
Well, that should be like over rack price, 0.28,
Yes.
yeah.
You want to explain that to me?
So 0.28 over rack price.
What, okay, explain rack price. to
So
me.
whatever the rack price is, that's kind of their base rate.
Yeah,
So then they'll adjust that
But 20%,
by 0.28,
29 almost.
yeah. And then so whatever the rack price is, they probably times that times 2.8, and then that's what they'll charge us.
okay, so they're the only ones that actually.
Yeah.
So that
gave
rack
us
price
the
may
bid.
change, see, so,
Oh, it fluctuates. Yep.
Bid price per gallon will be added to the verifiable rack price per
Yep.
gallon at
Time of delivery.
Got it.
Yep.
Okay. All right, so I move that we accept the bid from St. Joe Oil Company at 0.2874 per gallon over the verifiable rack price per gallon at the time of delivery.
okay, good job.
I will second that.
Okay, got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, sorry.
Opposed? Motion carries. H, review and consider motion to amend or delete board policy 601.03, school day bell schedules.
I will make that motion to remove those schedules, so we don't want to micromanage.
And I will second it.
And a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I, review and consider motion to approve the board policy number 3080, resident and non-resident student tuition.
So moved.
Second?
Got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. J, review and consider motion to adjourn.
I will move that motion.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor, saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
This-